We've had VTuber drama and art drama, but now we have VTuber app drama. This is the VTuber app in question, and it is called AntiLive. The Twitter handle is AntiLive_app, and they state that they are a new VTubing app to allow you to stream anytime, anywhere. And so I was snooping around trying to figure out what this app is about. So I literally downloaded this app just to take a look at it. So the way it works is when you go to the app, you can go on the home screen, scroll, and there will be a whole bunch of VTuber profiles on there. If you go to the very, very top, it will also show you the VTubers that are live streaming currently. You can go and make an account on this app, and you can go and watch VTuber live streams, and you yourself can go live as well. So basically, they kind of act like a streaming service, but only for VTubers. And on top of that, they actually also have a program in which they're looking for streamers. Their program is called the AntiLife Jumpstart Program Volume 2. We're back with a sequel. Get a free, unique character designed to stream on AntiLife. Missed Volume 1 but still want to jump into streaming? Now's your chance. So they have a detail to apply with more information. So this is their website, and it reads overview of application. Our mobile streaming app is designed specifically for the anime and VTuber community. As an Aniliver, you can effortlessly stream at any time and from anywhere, even from the comfort of your own bed. As a viewer, vertical streaming allows you to experience a new level of closeness and engagement with your favorite streamers in stunning detail. And this is their Jumpstart program. So it states that you can start streaming as an anime character for free. They have two different programs, one if you don't have a model and one if you do have a model. And this is what their program states. Benefits: receive your own exclusive anime character for streaming on AntiLife. Get direct support from AntiLife staff and access to feedback and tips. Participate in exclusive in-app events and receive a minimum guarantee of 300 USD per month in the initial months after your debut. So it sounds really good on paper. And the application process is you submit the form, attend an interview with the staff, choose an avatar, prepare for the debut, and debut in October. I'm guessing this hasn't been updated yet for their volume 2. And you need to be 18 or over, stream in English fluently, stream 30 hours a month, not be affiliated with a talent agency for a virtual persona, and stable internet. And I explained this to you just so you can kind of get a full picture as to what they do. So on top of being a live streaming app for VTubers, they also will kind of act as an agency, what it looks like anyways, for VTubers as well, preceding you with a model and like resources to stream. But there have been controversies because people have stated that the models look very AI. Now, when I do look at the next couple of models that I will show you, this is not, again, the fault of the person puppeting the model, right? Because if you applied to this program and they gave you a model, the person who got the model probably didn't even know that it could potentially be AI. So I don't want any blame or stuff placed on the VTuber themselves. This is on the agency for even giving an allegedly AI model in the first place. So this is the first post that Anilive retweeted from a VTuber called Miko Nova, who goes by the handle True God of Stars. Hello, beautiful Starfall, and thank you for joining me on this journey. My debut date on Anilive is November 8th at 9 p.m. PST. I hope to see you there. And here we have their model. So if we do look at the model, we can see that the character design is quite interesting. The rig of the model is a little bit odd, and the artwork does kind of give AI. Again, this is not fault of the VTuber. They were likely just given this model and they were just told to stream with it, right? A couple of things that give me AI vibes off the gates is, again, the awkwardness of shapes. AI is not really good at making very complex shapes. So I think it's weird that this is a 6-pointed star, but the two little points are like going in different directions. You can argue it could be perspective, but it wouldn't make the arms crooked like this. Or another one is how the iris for both eyes, right? Like this eye is not the same as this eye. It's not similar. There's like extra particles in this eye that is not featured in this eye. The shape of the eyes are different. Like this eye has like a kind of like diagonal slant and then it kind of like tapers out. Whereas here, so there's like an extra line basically in the eyeliner that is not featured on the left eye. The left eye just has the curvature for the top and then it bends inwards. And also the eyelid is different for each eye, giving a little bit AI, and the rig is a bit awkward, right? Where the only thing that moves with the rig is the eyes blink, opens and closes, and the body can move with the toggle, but nothing else is rigged. The earring is not rigged, the horns are not rigged, etc. And also the rig in a way does give me a little bit of a copy and paste vibe if the eyes are closed, right? It just looks like somebody just kind of painted over where the eye was and called it a day. Like the thickness of the eyelash when the eyes are closed aren't even the same. And the way the mouth moves is very awkward. There's this line kind of down here when the mouth is is open, kind of like moves around. It's just very awkward. And this is a model that allegedly AntiLife gave this VTuber to use. Oh yeah, and you can see here at this like half open face, one eyelid completely disappears while one is still there. And again, people IRL sometimes have uneven eyelids, etc., but it's a little bit odd to have that on a VTuber model where you can use artistic choices to kind of like alter the way it looks. Typically, most people who draw VTubers will draw even eyelids on them, even if IRL you might have uneven eyelids. So again, here is another VTuber that is also an AntiLife VTuber as well, called Sweety. It says Sweety boots update loading, new system message debut November 8th. Here is their model. Again, this is not anything against the VTuber themselves. This is AntiLife weirdly seeding these VTubers with AI models that aren't even fully rigged. So here we have this model. I would have to say it's giving very AI slash kind of poorly made. I just think like if you are an app that is running a program where you're gifting VTuber models to people so they can stream on your app, why not get actual artists to make the VTuber model? And two, deliver a better finished product to these people. I think it's not fair for the VTubers that are streaming. You're contractually now obligated to stream with this model, but the platform couldn't even do you the due diligence of giving you a fully completed one. This art piece, there's a lot of things that are incomplete. If you look at the eye, the white of the eye is not filled in all the way. Like there's just the white of the eye is just missing here and here. And again, the eyelashes just kind of disappear and the mouth toggle is odd. People were saying it's weird. Look at just watch the mouth, okay? As the mouth closes, there's a crack in the teeth that appears when the mouth is kind of half closed. And no rigger would do this. No rigger would break your VTuber's teeth like in the process of closing the mouth. This is either AI or just a very, very rushed rig that they're giving the model. To me, this is AI. Like at least parts of this model is. Like when the mouth is closed, the rig is set so that the mouth doesn't even lace flat. And if you look at the full blink, oh boy, right? Like there's an eyelid here on this eye. Like you can see the eyelid line is still here, but it's not present for the left eye. The eyes don't even lay flat. Like this eye, when it's closed, lays flat, but this eye kind of looks like it's drooping. And then the eyelashes just kind of disappear with the eyelid. And again, with this rig, the only things that are rigged are the eyes and the mouth, and the body will sway, but nothing else moves. I'm not trying to say this that like if you are a VTuber that's kind of low in funds and this is like what you can get for the money that you have, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I just think if you are asking VTubers to apply to stream for you, right? You're basically contracting streamers to stream on your platform and you're giving them essentially AI art or models that aren't fully completed. That is unfair to the VTubers that are now contracted to stream under you because they probably didn't realize that the models they were going to get weren't of the quality that you potentially have advertised. And here we have another VTuber by the name of Cara who goes with the Twitter handle Goddess Cosplay, writing, "Hello everyone, please excuse my nerves. I'll be having my first stream on October 26th at 12 p.m. CST. If you'd like to come check out my stream, here's my profile link. Check out my profile." And here they are. I'm guessing this is the model that AntiLife also gave them as well because the style kind of fits. But you can see the model isn't fully completed. This eye has white under the iris where the other eye doesn't. The eyes are not the same shape. Like this eye is just smaller and higher up than the other eye is. And you can see when the model blinks, it's just also poorly rigged. They're just kind of like cutting out where the eye is and painting over it and calling it a day. You can still see some of the eyelashes poking up on the right eye. The left eye is completely blurred over as if they used the blend tool just to like erase it. And here is another VTuber that also raised the AI suspicions by the name of Virus Vio. Again, I just still really want to emphasize this is not against the VTubers in question, right? This is against AntiLife for seeding the VTubers with these models. The VTubers probably absolutely had no idea that this is what they were going to be given, right? This model is probably the most egregious one in my opinion for the AI for many things, right? Again, the eyes are extremely unbalanced. They're completely different shapes. This eye, there's like the white under the eye that isn't present in this eye. And again, nothing else of this model is rigged except for the mouth. The body can sway from side to side and it can blink. And then again, when the eyes are closed, it features like the really, really kind of prominent eyelid line above the eye, which would disappear if the eyes are closed. It would not stay there. So again, from looking at all of these, I again really want to say this is not against any of the VTubers that have the models, right? AntiLive is just giving them models that aren't complete, in my personal opinion. I just think it's disingenuous because if you go to their page, you can see the other models that they have. It looks so different, right? Like here you have this VTuber by the name of Ryu. This model is fully rigged, complete, gorgeous. Everything moves, blinks. There's no like weird eyelid lines or crooked like chips happening. So I just think it's not fair to the other VTubers who have signed up for volume 1 because they probably scrolled through, saw all of these gorgeous models that other people have, and were like, oh, okay, so if I debut with them, then I can get a model like this. There were, you know, a whole bunch of other people on Twitter feeling like there was some AI usage in the artwork, allegedly, right? So AntiLife put out this notice, writing, message from AntiLife. Some rumors have been floating around that we want to address. To be 100% clear, all Jumpstart Volume 2 illustrations were created by human artists and were not generated by AI. The article below clears up the misunderstanding. So let's read the article, and this was written November 2nd, 5:24 a.m. It reads, hello AntiLivers, we've received inquiries about Jumpstart Program Volume 2 avatars and have seen rumors that the character illustrations were created using AI. First off, we want to state clearly upfront that the character illustrations were not generated by AI. AntiLife's goal has always been to support creators, including the case of the avatars and designs we provide. We assert that all characters and illustrations for the Jumpstart program, both Volume 1 and 2, were created by human artists. We noticed that misunderstanding about our Jumpstart program Volume 2 characters are occurring primarily due to the appearance when using our experimental new streaming feature, so we want to clear up the misunderstanding. So Jumpstart Volume 2, a new way to move. We previously gave a sneak peek about a new in-app feature and plans to use it for Jumpstart Volume 2 in our journal entry here. To summarize, the features allow streaming with a moving avatar from a single illustration. We view it as a setup or alternative to PNG tubing, basically allowing for movement and expressiveness when using only one illustration so that people can start VTubing even before they're able to commission or create a rig. We're one of the first global apps to begin using this kind of feature, but other apps in Japan such as IREM and 17Live already have had similar animation features available for several years. Some people have claimed that the Volume 2 avatars appear to move completely different from standard VTuber models or are not in poses that would be suitable for a live 2D rigged model, and that it's proof that we are using generative AI for the illustrations. However, the real reason is simply that the Volume 2 avatars are not standard models, as we shared in our initial announcement. Jumpstart Program Volume 2 streamers are provided a single original character illustration, and they use those illustrations in conjunction with our new streaming method. So they add, with an arrow above, dynamic illustrations like these would be difficult to separate and rig for movement as a standard live 2D avatar, but are able to move in a limited manner in AntiLive thanks to our feature. At the moment, we're still in the early development stages for this tool, so we're still working out what's possible for it, and there are some technical difficulties. Currently, for example, we've noticed that there is some image compression and artifact creation during the usage of the feature. In addition, some issues with the animation may occur. So if you don't know, like, artifacts is something that people refer to when determining whether a piece was made by AI or not. It's kind of like crumbs that actual human artists don't really leave in their artwork. So they add screenshots of these issues out of context are being shared on social media as evidence that the original character illustrations are made with AI. But in reality, the issues are just limitations within our in-app feature and not a result of the character illustration itself. AntiLife began developing this feature with the intention of providing aspiring VTubers a starter tool to have more expressive characters streaming even when only having a single illustration. By having this option, new streamers will be able to start creating and earning, and after earning for some time, to even commission their own rig in the future. Currently, we're limiting access to a select few in order to implement strict copyright checks for illustrations being used. But after developing it further, we plan to invite streamers outside of the Jumpstart program to test out our new features themselves and simply bring the character illustrations to life. So they add, AntiLife values artists and creativity for your illustrations. The illustrations for Jumpstart Program Volume 2 were pre-commissioned from 4 human artists and 2 production companies specifically for the purpose of using them with our new feature. We do acknowledge that in order to accommodate a large initial number of new streamers, we prepared and ordered in bulk under a tight deadline and limited the number of revisions we allowed ourselves to request. This led to understandable oversights and fine details in the illustrations as well, which we plan to be more careful about in the future. However, we are confident that the illustrations that were provided to Jumpstart Program Volume 2 streamers are all created by human artists, and that the bulk of the misunderstandings come from seeing screenshots of our feature in action without context and assuming that the output is a live 2D avatar. We hope that this detailed explanation of the expected behavior of our features will put people's mind at ease. Please look forward to continued development and improvement of the app, and of course to debut of new budding creators in the future. And Zion says, I don't want to be that person, but if they aren't AI, then the artists need to be properly credited. It's the least you guys could do. I do agree that from an ethical standpoint, I do think the artists should be compensated. However, from a business standpoint, because I have worked with businesses in these somewhat similar capacities in a way, sometimes they make you enter into a contract to where it states that when you work for them, they own your work. So if a contract like that was entered into between AntiLive and the artist, AntiLive would not be on the hook to give any credit because they would own the piece. It is something that happens in business where they will do that just so that down the line, if you were to eventually not work for them or something, they would still legally maintain ownership of the artwork so they could use it in the ways they see fit. Kenny writes, appreciate the statement. However, it would be easy to diminish these claims if you shared the pre-rigged art and artist slash production companies use because of some of the artifacts and compression issues aren't typical of what would happen to purely artist-drawn pieces. And yeah, like this was one of the models I referenced, some of the uneven eyes happening, etc. This model, again, it's very reminiscent of AI, alongside the fading and ever-thickening line art that's a bit uneven that does also seem reminiscent of AI. Sejima writes, all suspicion would probably be gone with a single post of credits to the artist, you know. A Trust Me Bro article clears up nothing for anyone. Shogbami writes, this response doesn't actually address any of the claims. It's basically a Trust Me Bro argument. These aren't just minor artistic quirks. Human teeth don't split in half or warp like that. Please credit the artists and share their portfolios. And that is in reference to, again, the VTuber's teeth kind of splits in half when they're talking. Now, there's been other criticisms as well for similarity models have to other characters. So Albani writes, this doesn't really address anything other than saying, quote, we didn't do it, trust us, end quote. If you actually wanted to clear things up, you would be able to name those artists. Same with Volume 1. Despite the many copycat models, it features that also suggest bad practices in play. And again, here is a model that's very, very reminiscent of 02 from Darling in the Franxx. And here is another model, and oh boy, does this character look really familiar, and I don't remember off the top of my head who they are, but I'm sure you guys will remind me in the comment section. I would say this one is a little bit more of a stretch, but we can definitely see where the inspiration came from. Albani continues, the fact you refuse to credit any artist for your models, despite this not only being common practice in the industry, but even something any artist would naturally ask for, and even when under fire, refuse to show any proof of the artist existing or these sketches speaks loud. And I'll even go one step further and call you out for the fact that you do your best to muddle the water about artists as best as possible, which seems to strongly suggest you are trying to hide AI art and missed real art towards your own talent seems to show. So this is a Discord post from Jumpstart to the people in their Discord, writing, we started to have some illustrators claim credit for some Jumpstart avatars. I want to take this time to establish some ground rules in order to preserve good relationships between you, your illustrators, and the companies we work with. We ask that you refrain from calling them mama. Please use the word illustrator or designer instead. 2. Public retweets and replies that show your appreciation and boost your illustrator is fine, but please do not DM them or contact them directly. Exception, you are doing so only to commission them personally. In that case, please make sure you're following the rules set by the commission platforms they are on or the guidelines set in the commission info. Please understand that claiming credit for the illustration is up to each individual creator. Some illustrators may prefer to remain anonymous, so not all of them will come forth. Each person has their own reasons, so let's respect their privacy. And Albani adds, these are just 2 examples you could chalk up as coincidences or similar designs, but there are so many more. Like, I can't read the name, but MCTE being Ghislaine, or Reek was just Sakura from Fate, even with the pupilless eyes. Lady Mikt, and then Ghislaine and Sakura. Or Sakura. And then Fuzzled at this one too. And then here we have a Genshin Impact character. I stopped playing Genshin, so I don't know who this is anymore. And this character, there's some similarities here too. And then here we have a Twitter user by the name of spamming account 00 or the handle lolsgirl8 writing, okay, so we're blatantly lying. This does not explain any of this at all. If it was done by a real artist, they wouldn't do this. And even then, if it is a PNG tuber, why wouldn't you tell your talents beforehand and have them believe it's an actual model and not slop? And that was exactly what I felt too, right? The way it is marketed as is, here's a program where we will give you a VTuber model. But essentially what you're getting is a PNG tuber that can sway side to side. PNG tubers, there's reactive PNG tubers that can blink and move their mouths to you talking. So what you're getting is basically no different. It's not really a VTuber model. And I would argue calling it a model can make it seem a little bit disingenuous because that's not really what people are going to get. Especially wannabe VTubers might be really hopeful, see the quality of other models on the account and be like, oh, I can get one of those really pretty live 2D rigged models. And then they end up with a model that was very rushed in the job of creating it. And here are some things that they highlighted, and these are all definitely odd, right? 1, a random dot floating here. 2, lack of fingernails on some fingers, but fingernails on some. They highlight the uneven line weight for the shoes. You know, maybe it's a design choice as the one shoe has laces and the other one doesn't. Random shapes and artifacts amongst the stars. Yeah, this model is looking a little interesting. It's either AI, potentially, allegedly, or it's a very, very rushed job, which it sounds like they were rushing the artist. Lumi Shinzo replies, hi, I'm the person behind that talent and model, Momose Yuna. And if you check my quote retweet, you'll see I'm devastated. And this is the quote retweet. Lumi writes, I have so many things to say about this and they aren't good. Signed, an ex-talent from Jumpstart 2, aka me. I'm the person behind Momose Yuna, and let me tell you that I am extremely disappointed and sad. I needed the income, but more importantly, I didn't join this to be received with a PNG tuber with extra steps. And secondly, it's extremely disappointing to me as an artist who is naive enough to fall into this and not notice the AI usage. Do you guys have any idea of how much guilt I feel feel for falling into this trap. Like, I hate AI with a passion, but I fall into this. It's emotionally heartbreaking. I have a history of being accepted into companies, then being scammed and even sexually harassed and isolated, being used for free works, textual words, and more. Yet I still trust the corpse in here, and that naivety is what I hate of me. I always fall for this. No contract in my case, just terms of service, Google form for criminal conduct, character guidelines. Basically, just be nice and professional. And I'm not the only one who feels like trash, and hopefully they'll talk more and better than me. And that is really, really well said. And I feel so bad for Lumi. And again, for any of the VTubers, I don't think any of the VTubers are at fault. Do not go and harass any of the VTubers involved, right? At the end of the day, these are probably all hopeful creators. They see this agency app thing and they're like, oh wow, this seems like a great opportunity and I can make 300 USD a month. That's a lot of money for some people. And so when they see that opportunity, they sign up because they're like, oh, I'll get a VTuber model. I can make some money streaming, just to find out that the supposed VTuber model you're going to get is potentially, allegedly AI artwork that is literally a glorified PNG tuber. It's not even a completed PNG tuber. The eyes aren't even like done properly. The mouth rig isn't done properly. And it's just not fair to the creators. And honestly, it gets worse. So Shog Mommy had made another tweet writing, this is also the same company that had generative AI positions open. Quote, another ball, end quote, is the parent company. Take this as you will. A while back, I did do a video on Anilive with my concerns about Gen AI after some artists spoke out about the model file security. So here you can see this is the logo, it says generative AI engineer anime, another ball, and some more elaborations of the job and the same job, but for China instead of Turkmenistan. And again, another hiring position for generative AI engineer in Armenia. And in replies to the links, Shog Mommy added, I do. First off, these are the posting archives because the job positions have been deleted. And if we go to the link, yep, it takes you to this page that says generative AI engineer anime another ball China. And we have Jonah or Twitter user Liturgy Bell writing, it takes less than a minute to find your LinkedIn and I found plenty of stuff that screams liar. Oh, and not to mention the pro AI article. So this is their LinkedIn page, another ball, writing AntiLife is our VTubing app with a mission to create a sustainable platform where all can live as they want to be. And here is one of their employees allegedly, and their job title is AI engineer. Kubi adds, AI engineer doesn't equal AI art, and that's some guy who exists in every single tech company, lol. But Jonah adds, regardless, they have these positions open and the generative part is concerning. Just because it says AI engineer doesn't mean they couldn't be hiding that it's for making whatever slot models they have. And again, another link to the job postings. And Shog Mommy adds, this is from their posting. The archive is below. The original post is here but deleted. And you can read, it says, as a generative AI engineer, you will play a crucial role in contributing to cutting-edge animation and illustration projects you will be responsible for. And note what's highlighted, right? Collaborating with cross-functional teams to apply AI technologies to animation and illustration projects. So I don't know, the trust me bro argument isn't necessarily flying here. And honestly, it's just sad to see at the end of the day, right? I feel like the case is with content creation, VTubing, all of these things, there's a lot of hopeful creators who want to make it. They want to be VTuber models, etc. And here comes this agency app thing, right? They're an app, but they also in a way do act as an agency by seeding you with the model, etc. And they kind of promise you things, right? Like you're gonna get money, this, that, and the third, you'll get a VTuber model. And all of these hopeful creators sign up because it sounds really good just to be given a VTuber model, allegedly AI art, and is a glorified PNG tuber that you're now essentially contracted to stream with. It's not fair to any of the creators who signed up because that is not what they thought they were going to sign up for. And I would say it's pretty disingenuous from the company to be doing something like this. This is unfortunate to see. Again, I feel so bad for Lumi and all of the other VTubers who didn't know that this was what they were signing up for. Again, let me re-emphasize for the 100th time, please don't send hate to the VTubers. I'm 100% certain that none of these guys knew they were signing up for, right? That this was what they were going to be given, etc. from this company. It doesn't look like that on first glance. But anyways, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like to subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch because I do stream there 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos.